Hey everybody, it's me Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. Trying out 2 lights today. Still seems a little dark on the floor. But I'm here to guide you through an awesome Tabata HIIT circuit. If you have some weights at home, we have a couple exercises with options to use weight. We have a row. So think about what kind of weight you might want to do from a row. It's actually going to be from a row that we're going to do down on our knees right here. So if you only have one weight, you can always just use one weight today and pass it side to side, whatever that weight might be. If you happen to have a stretchy band, but not a weight, you could also use a stretchy band down here to make your rows happen. And also a little bit later on for a nice little, oh my gosh, I can't even think right now. A chest fly, that's the name of what I was looking for. Okay, so we're gonna start in 3 minutes at 4:30. Let me turn the volume off on my computer. Make sure you have some water. If you have some music that you'd like to listen to, I always encourage you to put some engaging music on. Okay. I'm just going to give this a little gains to lean there. Okay. It's not bad. It's better, I think. It's better, I think. Okay. Fred, you know I just gave you peanuts, so don't be nasty. It's not my fault if you ate them all before class started. That was a personal choice. Okay, 1 minute till we get started. Oh, Uncle Buck, please don't cry. I understand that it's snowing outside. We went out just before this started. Animal mutiny. I need you not. Okay. Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming today. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean. We're gonna get right into our nice little warm up. So let's start with some side to side lateral step taps. Start to give yourself some shoulder rolls as you're feeling good. Make those lateral side to side step taps just a little bit bigger. It is bright in here today. I organized my closet last weekend and that meant it was very easy for me to access the second light. Change direction of those shoulder rolls. So when I was tired of it just seeming super dark in here, I just decided to grab it. Of course, this was like 4 minutes before the live stream started, so you know how it is. Well, normally I don't really have the apartment lit up to look at myself on Facebook or YouTube. Okay, Let's go ahead, bring our feet about hips width distance apart. We're just gonna take a big reach up towards the ceiling, pull your stomach in, bring some weight into your heels, and reach down towards the floor. Just depending on how tight your hamstrings are is going to limit your range of motion. I really want you to think about not quite a squat, but you're not reaching down to have space between your belly and those thighs. You're not trying to get a awkward stretching on the back of your legs. So find that little bend of your knees, reach down towards the floor, just getting those heart rates up a little bit. 10 more. Make sure you're breathing. 8, 7, go at your own pace. Right after this, we're gonna come into our first exercise of the day. It's a bit of a dynamic warm-up move anyway. All right, once you've made it to 10, go ahead, come, face me, find out what's going on, come into a little bit of a march, keep that heart rate going. We're, for this next one, going to step our feet out nice and wide so that we can go into a lunge from side to side. But while we're lunging from side to side, you're gonna reach down towards the floor, windmill those arms, really stretch up towards the opposite ceiling, and think about stretching your glutes towards the wall behind you. Oh my gosh, I was really running around before class, pardon me. So, I want you to move at the pace that works for you today. Make sure you're still breathing. This one's a pretty fun move to get started with. Make sure that you're not dumping too much weight into your toes, lots of weight in your heels, finding a big stretch on that inner thigh, and feet stay planted. Keeping it up. All 8 rounds. We start in 3, 2, 1. Have some fun. So we're hinging forward. Make sure that your stomach is sucked in. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other. Try to take that rounding out of your back. So a nice long line, long spine. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. You can do whatever feels good for yourself for these 10 seconds. Maybe shake it out. Maybe hang out in a lunge to one side. 3, 2, 1. Other side. So opposite hand is touching down to the floor. You can move at whatever pace works for you. Notice where you're bringing the weight in the rest of your foot. So you have a lot of weight in your heels, so you can stretch your glutes towards the back of the room. But are you working to press the outer edge, take a break, of that pinky toe into the floor while you're straightening that side? Think about that as we move on. And begin. So the leg that's straight, you're pressing that pinky toe into the floor. Do you feel a little bit more engagement as you do that? And it's okay if you're not touching down towards the floor. Maybe you just want to bring your opposite hand to your thigh. Maybe you're just reaching in the direction of the floor below you. Take a break. Shake it out. Find what feels good. 10 seconds. Just come back towards your breath. If you've got the motion, if your feet are firmly planted, let's move a little bit faster. Begin. If you didn't already begin, right after I said move a little bit faster. You're trying to control these arms too. So the arms aren't just flailing around and making it happen, really finding that squeeze, the stacking of one shoulder, take a break, on top of the other. 3, 2, open your chest, pull your belly in, begin. So starting off with some good form before you even come into the motion, using your breath. I'm exhaling each time my fingers come towards my toes, I come into that lunge. Nice work. Really starting to feel it, particularly on my inner thighs. Where are you feeling this right now? 3, 2, 1. Finishing strong, just a couple rounds to go. Can you send your glutes back a little bit more behind you? Maybe you're getting really tired. You need to lift up between each one. Give yourself an extra break. that's okay too. Hopefully that's something that you found. I'm sorry for not mentioning it earlier if you needed something slower. Or staying down here with me close towards the floor, maybe even coming through a squat into your other lunge. Just keeping those hips nice and low is another option. Feel free to let that head turn with your arm reaching up, or keep it down towards the floor if balance is a challenge for you. I think we're coming into our last round right now. Begin. Do you still have that belly pulled in? Are you still focusing on stretching your glutes back behind you? Keeping that flat back as you can. Finding that nice, take a break, chest opener. Good work. Grab some water if you want it. I'll grab a quick sip ski, fancy water here. Okay. Come on down to your mat. Next up, we're going to alternate between some rows and some push-ups. But let's do 2 rounds of each before we switch. We'll still get a total of 40 seconds twice, basically, but split up. Okay, so if you really want to challenge yourself in this row, you can do it from a push-up. I, however, am going to demonstrate doing the rows from tabletop. Just finding a big forward hinge here can help you focus a little bit more on finding that squeeze in your back. However, that's not enough challenge for you if you don't have any weights, if you're looking for just something a little bit more. Come into a plank as you do your rows. If you only have one weight, you can do a nice row, switch to the other side, or if you prefer, since we're going to do 2 rounds, you can always do one arm first and the other arm on the second round. Just find what's going to work for you. Make sure you keep moving. After these rows, we're going to go for push-ups. Once again, you can stay on your knees. I'm actually going to stay right here in tabletop. I think that's a great way to really focus on bringing your chest and shoulders down to find the push-up in your upper body, as opposed to frequently when you're on your knees and you do more of the worm. Okay, we're not going to do the worm. We're going to do push-ups. So we're starting with rows. Did you enjoy that chatty break? I hope so. 3, 2, 1, begin. So either alternating that row, you can keep your arms close by your side. Keeping your elbow close is going to keep it nice and easy as well. If you want to work a little bit harder, you can always go for a nice wide gripped row. Just pulling the weight, take a break, a little further away from the center line of your body. I like to roll right by my rib cage. Let's start the next set. Do you have that nice long line? Make sure that your head is in line with that as well. So looking down at the floor in front of you, focusing on really squeezing one shoulder blade towards the other with that elbow going directly behind you. Keep that belly pulled in nice and tight. Awesome. All right, next up, we're going to come into our push-ups. You can always challenge your grip by keeping your hands on the weights. If that's uncomfortable for you, get rid of them and begin. So remember, you can be in a full push-up. However, if you find that your belly is coming down towards the floor first, gonna get rid of this, then go ahead, find the modification that works for you to work towards bringing your shoulders towards your fingertips, bringing that chest down, everything in one line as opposed to the worm. All right, 3, 2, 1, begin. Still getting some good tricep focused push-ups in right here. You can keep your feet down on the floor. I like to just, make sure that I'm really engaging my body, and for me that often includes just keeping my legs in the game. All right, we're coming back to those rows now. Let's go for a double row. double row. All right, so 1, same side, 2, unless you're sticking with the same side, and then just keep sticking with that same side. Maybe your second row is a little bit wider than your first row. Still working to pull, take a break, that elbow back behind you. Maybe shake out your back here. Maybe enjoy a little modified child's pose. Get ready and start again. Still sticking with that double row if you're alternating sides. Find that nice tabletop back, that fully engaged belly as well. Because we are on our knees, but we still have a forward hinge happening. Find that engagement in your back. Belly to keep your back feeling good. Great. 2 more rounds of push-ups. 3, 2, 1. Challenging myself here a little bit harder this second set, working to come into that plank. Still being really mindful of bringing everything down at one time. So maybe you have to move a little bit slower. Take a break. Maybe you move a little bit slower when you have the whole body working at one time. 3, 2, 1. That's okay. It's not about how many reps that you're getting in. I mean, it is a little bit. But the number one thing is thinking about that form, thinking about being mindful of what your body can do today, finding that challenge right there. Finish up that last push-up, and we're gonna stand up. Bump, 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 bump. Standing up for that next move. Find any stretch that feels good for you. Next, we're gonna start with some squats. Grab some water if you want it. Okay, first round of squats, first 2 rounds of squats. Just gonna be a squat. So nice little air squat, your choice of what kind of squat you wanna do. You can go for the traditional squat, knees and toes pointing forward, getting a little bit more into those quads. Or turn your toes out, working that glutes big time, a little more inner outer thighs, which we already have worked a little bit. Maybe you'll go for 1 of each. All right, we start in 3, 2, 1. So again, a big focus on that weight in your heels. Like you're really reaching for that chair behind you. Bringing those arms up can help you to find a little bit of balance. It's a great reminder for me to really keep that chest lifted. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Or maybe you wanted to do that goddess squat here for this first round. Regular squats are going to work a little bit better as we move forward. Maybe knees out and begin. This time working to keep that upper body lifted the whole time. And working to bring those knees in a beautiful straight line. Weight still in your heels, so pressing through those heels, squeezing glutes at the top. Focus on that squeeze. All right, you can stick with either of those. We're gonna change it up if you're ready. Taking a nice step out and then in, out and then in. Begin. Whoa. Oh, balance. I am trying to challenge your balance a little bit today. The next move we do is also a real big balance challenge. How low can you sit down here? Great work. We're going to do that same thing 2 more times. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 more time. Or keep with it the whole way through if this works for you. Begin. So stepping out and squatting and standing up. You can always make it a smaller movement if you need to. Really focus on pressing in through your heels. You're going to work the backside so much more if you really focus on pressing through your heels to find that lift and squeezing at the top. All right, if you want to make it even more challenging, you can go for a squat jack. So we're going to involve those arms. So as you step out, arms come up overhead. Each time, You can turn this one into a little more of a goddess squat if that feels good. Keep that head up. I was looking at the timer, I promise. Okay, so you take a break. You have an option to make this one more challenging if you don't have to be considerate of your neighbors, and come into a jump and in. Or you can work to be really considerate of your neighbors because you are looking to land lightly. I'm a little paranoid though, so I'm gonna turn it back into a step and squat. Keep that chest up and lifted. Great. We've got 2 more rounds. Bye. 3, 2, 1, begin. Just gonna use the space that I have a little bit more. Take some extra steps in each direction. You can hear I'm really using my breath. Exhale on the way down. Inhale up. Last round. 3, 2, 1. Just mixing it up. Keeping my body doing something, even if it's the same motion slightly differently. Working to keep that brain engaged too. You can't always do the same thing. Take a break and expect different results, and that goes with working out too. That's why I give you these options to increase the challenge. You don't have to take it if it's not right for you. But if it is, awesome. You may have heard me say last week that everything we're doing that just feels easy breezy, it's definitely movement. It's definitely doing something. But if you're really looking to make a change, you want to get to that point where you're feeling tired, where your breath is tired, where your muscles are starting to ache. That's when the workout starts. Okay, so that's when like the real change comes, I should say. The workout starts the minute that you decided to show up. Showing up is the hardest part. Okay, so next up, we're gonna go for some awesome hip openers. So we're gonna come on down to the mat. To begin with, we're gonna start in a plank. If you cannot start in a plank, you can do the same workout right here from your knees, just stepping one foot forward and then stepping the other foot forward. Okay, so first off, we're just going to step 1 foot forward. You're gonna lift the back toe up. We're gonna go from this hip opener right here to working to press that back heel down into like kind of standing head to knee or pyramid pose. You might even need to shorten your step. No, I like it with the longer step. So let's really focus on keeping, when you bend this front leg, the knee in line on top of your ankle and hip. All right, so right foot forward to begin with, sticking with the right leg. Start in 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, so from hip opener, just working to press up, find that big stretch on the back of your hamstring. The closer that your head comes towards the knee, take a break, the more you're really gonna feel that stretch too. Maybe send your hips back for a quick breath in child's pose. Step it forward, set yourself up on the opposite side, and begin. Awesome, so just straightening and coming back into that hip opener. After this, we're just gonna alternate stepping into a hip opener. Beautiful, so you can come down to the knees. If you need to stay on your knees, you're just gonna step 1 foot forward, the other foot forward. Either way, do it from your toes, begin. So same thing, stepping 1 foot forward, coming into that big hip opener. As you come back into the plank, really focus on coming into that good plank. So not just down dog, into the plank with your shoulders on top of your hands, palms. Why must they vacuum at this time? I'm going to have to talk to someone. Okay, next up we're going to add in a twist. So as you step forward, keep that opposite hand down. Same arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Step it back into your plank. Hip opener. If you really need to, you can always oopsie doodles. Bring that back knee down towards the floor to help you feel supported right here in your twist. Take a break. We'll do that same thing one more time. Come into that plank. Step forward, hip opener. Find your twist. So I'm not trying to get in a ton of these in 20 seconds. Great work. Take your break. All right, you can stay right there. If you want to add in a little bit of an extra challenge, this time we're going to come into that hip opener and lift our whole bodies up and then right back down. Begin. So alternating legs. So into the hip opener. Lift yourself up. Oh, what a beautiful stretch on that extended back leg. I really feel that hip opening. Even more stretching into that quad. Beautiful. Take a break. We got 2 more rounds, so do whatever felt the best for you. 3, 2, 1. Begin. Stepping forward, shifting the weight, lifting up. Eyes stay forward, hips stay squared with the top of your mat or the space that you're using. Three, two, one. One more, y'all. Take a quick little break. 3, 2, 1. Last time through. Exerciser's choice. Five seconds left to go. Keep it up. 3, 2, 1. Yay! Take your nice little break. Oh, coronavirus. Just when I fix the lighting issue, the vacuuming starts. I will say it sounds like she's like being real thorough. Too thorough? I don't know. Okay. We're going to come back down to the floor. Next up are Supermans. We're going to start off. We've got 2 different ways that we're going to do this back work. Supermans, where we're going to lift everything up, including our feet. The next move, we're going to leave our feet down and just focus on our arms. Then again, 2 more rounds of total body moving, and then just arms again. All right, I'm going to face this way so you can see what my arms are doing. Know that my feet are included. You can either really work to squeeze those legs together, get a little bit more inner outer thigh work, or just work to lift both legs up. Go ahead, extend those arms nice and straight in front of you. Keep your eyes down to the floor. Pull your belly in, press your pubic mound down. You start in 3, 2, 1, begin. If this is really challenging for you, if it's too hard with arms in front, having your arms out to the side, giving yourself 2 thumbs up can make it a little bit easier. Really use your exhale, take a break, to lift up a little bit higher. We're going to do that same thing one more time. So your legs are coming along for the ride. Begin. The more that you bring those hands towards the front of your mat, the more challenging your Superman will be. I really encourage you to get that back ready for the move. So squeezing those shoulder blades together to get those armpits to lift up off of the floor is step 1. All right, next we're going to do just the arms. Our arms are going to do a big snow angel as you reach all the way back towards your glutes. Begin. So the tops of the feet stay pressed down towards the floor. You lift up, squeeze everything together, higher lift, and then lower down. I'm inhaling to lift, exhaling back, forward, take a break. Same thing, same exact move. Big snow angel, feet stay planted, begin. Eyes are just coming along for the ride of where your body is. It's easiest to keep them gently focused down on the floor or maybe a couple inches in front of you. Just work to not bring an extra wrinkle into your neck. Take a break. All right, next up, we're getting legs involved again. We're gonna go for a little bit of a breaststroke. So still finding that big lift up, but legs are kicking. Oh, we're actually swimming right now. Swimming through a sea of snow. Three, 2, 1. Take a break. We got one more just like that. Ooh, this is some good work. Who is feeling it in their back right now? I'm feeling it. Begin. Really draw those two elbows towards each other. Oh. Use that exhale to find a little extra lift. Take a break. Okay, this time we're going to keep those feet planted on the floor. We're going to start out with arms out in a T. We're going to lift up. We're just going to pulse those thumbs. Begin. So staying lifted. Tiny little pulsing. Thumbs up, right up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades squeeze towards each other, away from ears. Can you lift up a little bit higher? Last 3 seconds. Oh, take a break. Maybe bend your knees and windshield wipe your feet. We got one more. You can keep those arms out to the side. Go for a Y or the most challenging, arms in the front. Oh. We are halfway right now. Can you lift a little bit higher? Push yourself here. It's the last time you have to go through. Eyes still down towards the floor, but chin away from chest. 2, 1. Windshield wipe those knees side to side. Oh my God, I'm a horrible person. Okay, we got 2 last rounds of work. Let's take a moment and come into Sphinx pose. Come into Sphinx pose. Go ahead, place those forearms down towards the ground and take a moment really tucking your chin towards your chest. Get that big stretch on your lower back. Maybe even rolling your head from side to side in case I forgot to say it and just started to do it. I think I did forget to say it. Okay, next up, we got mountain climbers. Roar! Even the vacuum cleaner is upset that we have mountain climbers. We're gonna do our mountain climbers different speeds. So we're gonna start off with some nice slow mountain climbers. Slow mountain climbers coming right up towards your nose. 2 rounds of slow. Get ready. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. Now, if you need a modification, you can be on your knees right here, working to really use that exhale to bring that knee a little closer towards your nose. And if you're working slow, you're just taking an extra second, even from that full plank, to hold that knee in towards your nose. Take a break. You can send your hips back towards your heels. You can shake those wrists out. 3, 2, 1. Make sure you shift that weight back forward, though, of chest and shoulders under your hands' palms. And if you want to find that rounding, if you really want to move a little through the range of motion of your body here, you are welcome to. 4 more seconds. 3, 2, awesome. Okay, now we're gonna go for the same direction, coming up towards your nose still, but faster. Find a faster movement. Begin. Still use that exhale though. Exhale as that knee draws up. Continue to shift the weight forward. 3 seconds left, stick with it. Take a break. Awesome, we got 1 more just like that. 3, 2, squeeze those shoulder blades together. So back is still really working here. Halfway. Take your break. Awesome. I still have to move mindfully even in my fast mountain climbers. Okay, this time slow mountain climbers, but bringing your knee out towards the opposite elbow. Once again, something that you can do here from tabletop. Even if you're in tabletop, really intentionally, hands, palms underneath of your chest. Try not to let those hands get all the way in front of your body. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We got 1 more like that, nice and slow, with knees coming out wide to the side. 3, 2, press into your hands, palms, back engaged, belly tight. Halfway. Nice work. Take your break. All right, next up, we're just going to try and move a little bit faster through the same range of motion, keeping things nice and wide. Focus on coming back into that good plank each time. If you're on your knees, just still moving nice and fast. Halfway. Keep it up for the last 5 seconds. And take your break. Good work. 1 more time through, moving nice and fast and wide. Then we get to turn over onto our backs. 3, 2, begin. Oh, I'm just gonna hang out on my knees. My wrists have been so tired lately. I'd rather modify, just keep going. Nice work. All right, grab some water if you want. Stay close to the floor if you happen to have weights. Next up is another move where you can use some weights. We're gonna be doing some glute bridges, hanging out in our glute bridge, getting a chest press, a chest fly, another chest press, and a lat pullover. So maybe if you just have 1 weight, that's fine. You can always pass the weight from hand to hand, or focus on doing one side and then the other, since we'll have 2 of each move. Okay. All right, so make sure that you have some space for this next one to open your arms wide to the side and also to bring your arms up overhead when the time comes. Go ahead and lay down on your back. Let's bring ourselves up into a glute bridge. The first move that we're going to do is a nice close chest press. So just pressing right up and bringing it right down. If you need to, you can always press up and come down if you need that break. Maybe we're going to stay nice and high, really squeezing those glutes, lifting the hips the best that you can. We start in 3, 2, 1, begin. So ground those feet to the floor. Do your best to not let your knees go out to the side or to knock in towards each other. So really think about pressing firmly through all the corners of your feet, your shoulders, your upper back is relaxed on the floor. Take a break. So for this one, having weights or not having weights is going to dictate the pace of your arms. The heavier the weights, the slower begin that your movement is going to be, because I want you to still Really focus on squeezing things up towards the top. If you have no weight in your hand, imagine that you're lifting a car off of, I don't know, anything that needs to be rescued from under the car. Money. Let's think money. Okay, next up we're going to come into that chest fly. Depending on your weights is again going to depend on your speed and if you need to bring a bend to your elbows. So lifting yourself up, if your weight's really heavy, to be in control, you can bend those elbows to bring it down towards the floor. And if your weight's really light, you might be able to keep those arms out nice and wide, taking less of a bend. Maybe you have like no space and you're just working within the space, within the range of motion that you have available to you today. One more just like that. Begin. So pressing up, really squeezing into those glutes. Oh, there's the money. Think about what's happening with your knees. You have the back of your head relaxed on the mat. Oh, squeeze those glutes, feel them burning. Take a break. All right, so next up we're going to go for a wide press. So this time pressing up overhead, bringing those elbows down nice and wide. Begin up into your glute bridge. So really still think about finding the squeeze from your chest, not just pressing through your hands to bring the weight up, using your chest to bring the weight up and controlling on the way down. Take a break, one more just like that. Oh, my glutes. Begin. I think walking, I walked a couple delightful miles in the snow yesterday, and everyone knows walking on the snow and ice is, you just tense your body in a different way. Can you lift those hips up a little bit higher? When you are unsure of your steps, lower it down. All right, next up we have that lat pullover. You might need to switch to just one weight depending on how heavy your weight is. So up high in this glute bridge, bring it all the way up overhead and right back over your chest. Bringing the weights to touch each other can make it feel a little bit more stable if you want to work with a slightly heavier weight, but be in control. Take a break, lower yourself down. One more of the same thing. This is our last Tabata set. Press yourself up, begin. As the weights come back towards your chest, towards the center line of your body, can you think about squeezing those glutes a little bit tighter? Maybe lifting them a little bit higher. Awesome. Lower yourself down. Let's grab a quick sip of water if you want. We're going to go for 1 minute of a ab challenge. Quick sip of water because we're getting right into it, so we have stretching time. All right, we have the weight nearby. If you have weights, we'll just use one of them. If you don't have weights, you can find yourself just a challenge. I'm going to talk you through some options because we've got Russian twists coming up. Okay, if you don't have a weight and you want to challenge yourself a little bit harder, think about picking those feet up from the beginning. If you do have a weight, you can keep your feet on the floor. 1 minute, twisting side to side to begin with, starts right now. All right, so simplest version, anyone can have their feet on the floor if they want to. Twisting side to side, starting with this weight close towards the center line of your body. If you don't have a weight, you can challenge yourself and get those shoulders engaged more by keeping your hands palms forward and reaching your hands back. If you're doing one of those options and it still feels easy, you can lift those feet up off of the floor. Gonna offer you a different challenge here for the last 30 seconds. Maybe you wanna put your feet down as you just keep your arms extended a little bit more away from your body as you twist, feeling it slightly more in those obliques here. Working to keep that weight in line with heart level. Shoulders Pull them away from your ears. Oh my gosh. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Yay. Let's just lay down on our backs. Take a moment, draw those knees in towards your chest. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Just not gonna turn my butt to the camera like that because I'm so polite. All right, stretch your elbows down towards your hips and use your next exhale to relax your upper body a little bit more on the floor. Can you get your shoulder blades to touch the floor? Maybe you need to open your knees a little bit wider, but that's cool because that might help you get them a little closer towards your shoulders, a little more stretch in the quads here. Let's do my favorite quad stretch right here. So your left hand is going to come onto the right shin, and your right hand is going to reach below you and grab hold of your left foot. As you work to bring that left knee down towards the floor, the closer that you get that knee towards the floor, and you can rest your foot down right by your glute, the more you're going to feel that big stretch through your quad. Really think about working to press the outside of the knee down and then stretching your knee down towards the end of the mat. You should feel the big stretch throughout the meaty part of your leg, not so much in the knee. See if you can still relax your shoulders towards the mat. Keep the back of your head relaxed. Relax your belly. And then change. Go ahead, draw back to knees towards chest. Maybe give yourself some circles. One direction. The other direction. I'm just trying to get you some massages into your back too, because we did do a lot of back work today. All right, so this time your left knee stays close towards your chest. Your right hand comes on top of your left shin. Your left hand grabs hold of your right foot, and as you bring that right outer edge of the foot towards the floor and work to release that knee down, the closer that the sole of your foot is towards your glutes, the closer that the back of the knee is towards the floor. And as you stretch that knee towards the end of the room, oh my gosh, what a big stretch on your right quad this time. Take 2 more breaths here. Really work to relax that upper body a little bit more towards the mat. Relax your belly. And then change. Once again, draw those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself one last free massage on your lower back together. Change directions of the massage. And go ahead, sit yourself up. Let's come into dragon pose. So go ahead, extend those legs out nice and wide. Reposition yourself as feels good. We'll get a big stretch on the inner thighs as you roll those toes up towards the ceiling. So resist the urge to let those toes fall in towards the floor. That does feel nice too, honestly. You know, let's roll a little bit from one to the other. You can bring your hands behind you for some support. Oh, just a little internal, external rotation. All right, now stop in the rotating with those toes up. Externally rotating. Oh my gosh. If you don't feel a stretch towards those inner thighs, you can always bring the weight forward just a little bit. While we're here, let's keep the right hand down towards the floor and left hand down and inhale, right arm up and over. Look up towards the ceiling. Find that big stretch throughout the right side of your body. Really reach your left hand fingertips towards the right side. And then change. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Find some grounding. Plant your right hand on the floor. Inhale, left arm up and over. One more big stretch into the side of the body. Change. Inhale, lift yourself up. Both arms come up. Exhale, bring those fingers down. Still point those toes up towards the ceiling. Starting to hinge forward, feeling a little bit more of a stretch on the back of the legs. Take 2 more breaths right here. And change. All right, let's go ahead, stand ourselves up. Great work today, everyone. Take your time as you roll yourself up. Maybe dangle for just a moment. Allow those shoulder blades to gently separate. We spent so much time squeezing them together.
at the top. When you get there, inhale your arms all the way up. Go ahead and release your fingers behind your back. Once more, opening the chest, stretch those knuckles down towards the floor. Maybe twist a little right and left. Inhale, arms up overhead. Once more, press those palms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, relax your arms down by your side. Great, that's all the time that we had for today. I hope that you had a wonderful time. I hope you really felt the challenge. I know I'm feeling it already. Wow. So enjoy that delayed onset muscle soreness. Let me know if anything still feels achy or uncomfortable. I'm happy to create a yoga class that meets any needs that we have not yet. Have a wonderful rest of the day and hope to see you soon.